Dawn breaks over Yellowstone, where mountains, forests, and rivers have shaped life for thousands of years. In this vast wilderness, survival depends on awareness, instinct, and balance. Every movement carries meaning, and every sound can signal danger. For generations, this balance was disrupted. By the early 20th century, gray wolves had been driven out of Yellowstone through hunting and eradication efforts. Without their natural predator, elk populations grew rapidly, grazing heavily on young trees and vegetation. Aspen and willow declined, riverbanks weakened, and entire habitats began to change. In January 1995, that story began to shift. Wildlife managers reintroduced gray wolves to Yellowstone, bringing them from Canada to restore a missing part of the ecosystem. The first wolves were released into carefully prepared acclimation areas before stepping back into the open landscape. Over the following years, more wolves joined them, forming packs and reclaiming their role in the wild. Their return was not just the return of a species, but the return of a natural process that had been absent for decades. As wolves settled into their territory, their presence began to influence the behavior of other animals. Elk, once able to graze freely across open valleys, became more cautious. They moved more often, avoided exposed areas, and spent less time feeding in vulnerable locations. This change reduced pressure on young plants, allowing trees like aspen and willow to grow again. Over time, this regrowth supported other species. Beavers returned to rivers where trees once again provided building materials. And their dams helped create wetlands that supported fish, birds, and insects. For wolves, survival depends on cooperation and precision. They hunt in packs, using coordination and endurance to pursue prey across long distances. each hunt is shaped by instinct and physical readiness. Inside the body, fear plays a critical role. In both predator and prey, the brain responds rapidly to perceived danger.
The amygdala signals the release of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, increasing heart rate, sharpening focus, and preparing muscles for action. This response, often called the fight-or-flight reaction, allows animals to make quick decisions that can determine survival within seconds. In the chase, these biological systems are fully engaged. Wolves rely on stamina, teamwork, and timing, while elk depend on speed, awareness, and quick reactions. Not every hunt succeeds, and not every encounter leads to a kill, yet each interaction shapes behavior. Over time, this constant pressure creates a balance, where no single species dominates the landscape unchecked. Years after their return, the effects of wolves can be seen across Yellowstone. Vegetation has recovered in many areas, riverbanks have stabilized, and a wider range of species now thrives within the park. This process, known as a trophic cascade, shows how the presence of a top predator can influence an entire ecosystem. The changes did not happen instantly, and they continue to evolve, but they demonstrate how interconnected life in the wild truly is. As the sun sets over the valley, the landscape reflects a system in motion, shaped by both cooperation and competition. Wolves remain a vital part of this balance, not as symbols of fear alone, but as participants in a natural cycle that sustains life. In Yellowstone, fear is not simply a force of danger. It is a signal, a response, and a necessary part of survival that helps maintain the delicate harmony of the natural world.